Hi guys, it's Gav here from Dptv. Thanks for joining me. We've got a chat show tonight where we're going to talk everything darts. Now I've got two amazing guests with me. One of them we all speak about all the time. He's good looking, he makes darts look sexy, he's off to Q school, he's guaranteed he's going to get a tour card, we're going to travel the country together, he's going to be on Sky Television. So really, really exciting times ahead. And the second person that I've got with me is the real deal, Aaron Mill. So let's bring them both in. So here we go, guys. How are you both doing? There he is.
All good, thank you.
All good, mate. I thought you were talking about me when you said sexy, but...
Well, no, there's only one man that he says there's only one man that make darts look sexy. How are you both doing? Congratulations, by the way, Aaron. New dad. How's everything going, mate?
All good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, really good.
Really enjoying it. And Ad,
really
what have you been up to, mate?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Literally nothing. I go to work and then I sit at home watching telly.
Well, and I hear you've had a few tears in some of the movies of late.
Oh, mate, I don't know if you've ever seen Casper the Ghost, but that is an emotional roller coaster of a movie. I mean, the only other film that's ever made me cry was Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsleigh team.
Yeah.
That's pretty emotional, but Casper the Friendly Ghost, wow, too much for me.
Yeah, had you in tears. Anyway, guys, what we're going to do is this is a show where we're going to talk everything darts. We're going to give our honest opinions. This is something that we can do. We're not part of anything, so we can give our honest opinions. If any of the cameras freeze tonight, like mine just have, apologies, they will come back, but you should be able to see us. And we're also going to put this onto podcast as well, hopefully. So first of all, we're going to start off with Jose de Sousa, the special one. 46 years old, gained his tour card in 2019 and recently become the European Darts Grand Prix and, of course, the Grand Slam champion. I don't think many people were expecting him to win it. What do you guys make to it all?
He's good, isn't he?
How good?
Can I just say, he come from soft tip and he absolutely smashed it, so there's hope for everyone yet.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, he did try in the PDC a few years back, didn't he? And he in the Worlds a number of years back. But you think at 46 years old, it just shows the older, not that he's like mega old, because I'm getting to that age, but it just shows the longevity in darts and what you can do at any age, doesn't it? Even you've got a chance, Ad.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've got a couple of years on him, like 10. But, yeah, he's give up work and he's took the plunge. He's done it properly. He's gave himself a couple of years where he's going to take it really seriously. It just shows what you can do if you're good enough and you believe in yourself, innit?
Yeah, well, he was a carpenter beforehand and kitchen fitter, wasn't he? And he just seems such a nice, genuine guy as well. What do you think to him, Aaron? How far do you think he can go in the game? Is he somebody that's going to win more majors? He's obviously number 14 in the PDC Order of Merit as well now.
To be fair, if he can keep it going, there's no reason why he couldn't break into that top 10 quite easily. I mean,
he hit 180 for fun, doesn't he?
Some of the averages in that his scoring is ridiculous.
Yeah. He's hitting.
He's more than capable of winning the world.
The old 158 checkout. That was a bit special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To win it.
Did you see the message that he got from Jose Mourinho afterwards?
Saying about the special one.
That was class, wasn't it?
Mourinho was basically saying that he is the only special one now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. From a good club as well, hey, Ad? You're a bit of a Tottenham fan?
God, behave.
Do you know what? I don't really follow football anymore, mate. It's kind of not worth following anymore, football. It's just gone downhill when you see that league table and things, you know. I think it's just, football's gone, mate. It's gone.
I thought you was a massive Tottenham fan.
Shut up. Yeah.
How
to be fair, I've been and watched Tottenham a couple of times with my mates, and they lost both times I went and watched them. So I should go watch Tottenham more, really. But
how are the Arsenal doing?
Mate, we had a great result. We only lost 2-1 this week, which is for us an improvement. Arteta is the Messiah, and everything will come good.
And you got Spurs at the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. We'll win that. We'll win that, and then Marine will knock Tottenham out of the FA Cup and beat us 14-0 or something. That's what happens.
It's not looking good. Darts, obviously, with Jose, we're talking about him right now. Was there anybody else you know?
No, I haven't really played much darts in Portugal, so I'm not really up with it, to be honest.
Didn't you? Yeah, but I suppose when you get this tour card, you will be going out to Portugal to play a bit more, won't you?
I mean, if they talk about Great Yarmouth darts as opposed to Portugal or something, I might know, but. Yeah.
Is that story true about you at Great Yarmouth when you went out the tournament or something, and then you went and had sausage and chips and threw your darts off the end of the pier or something?
No. You've missed out the strip club part, and I didn't bother with the sausage and chips. No, but yeah, the darts have been launched many a time. So
yeah. I talk about MVG, of course ranked number 1, 55 television titles, but he has had a terrible year. 2020 has not been great for him. When you look at him at 2019, I've got everything up in front of me of what he's won. He obviously won the World Championship, the Masters, he won a couple of Players' Championships, the Championship Final, the European Darts Open, the German Grand Prix, the German Darts Open, the Austrian Open, the Premier League, the Melbourne and New Zealand Darts Masters, the World Grand Prix, the Champions League Darts, and the World Series of Darts Final. Incredible year, 2019 for MVG. 2020 has been a really tough for him, winning his last major, the UK Open. We know that there's been no fans and COVID and that. What are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Ad, with MVG this year.
Well, obviously, 3/4 of those competitions he won in 2019 didn't happen this year. Obviously, he lost some things that people might have thought he wasn't going to lose, but he's coming into form at the right time, isn't he? And there's no one would be shocked if he won the Worlds, would they? Really? So.
No, we always seem to know, it's the perfect time. It's what they always say. This is almost a tournament that they want to win the Players' Championship going into the Worlds, isn't it? Do you think that he would have won a lot of these tournaments the way he's been, had they been on? Obviously, we've not had the World Series events, but there's still been others that have been on, Ad, and he's not performed well. And you can see what it meant to him when he won the other night against Mervyn King. He was relieved because he expects to win everything he enters.
Yeah, well, I've told you loads of times that darts is all in your head, and even the best players ever have occasional moments when they might be lacking a little bit of confidence and feeling. And so Mashobi, he was relieved and he was quite emotional, wasn't he? And yeah, he's going to win the Worlds now, and he'll Mashobi dominate again for a few more years, won't he? But it's like everyone. You have dips, and you've got to overcome it, haven't you? And he looks like he is going to, isn't it? So.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on MVG, Aaron? Players getting better. He's obviously had his second child recently. He's got loads of the Worlds all over the place at the minute,
isn't it? The standard is definitely getting a lot better. But yeah, he has dipped. But then you look at the last 2 tournaments. I mean, Whitlock dumped him out, but played out of his skin. And then in the tournament we just had, he was like the highest average out of the tournament.
Yeah.
And, the final was close, and Mervyn King could have sort of been unlucky not to get something out of it. But overall, Van Gerwen deserved to win the whole thing.
I think he only had sort of one performance where he wasn't right at the top of his game, and that was when he was feeling, I think he was a bit under the weather, weren't
he? Yeah, plus he was injured at the Worlds.
Yeah, but then you look at his game against
champs, didn't he? He had the World Cup of darts. He had a bad back, didn't he, and whatnot? A spasm or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he's, I think there's been lots of different scenarios that we don't know. I remember speaking to some players, when I met up with them, and they reckon that the life of a darts player isn't that great to be a lot of the time. We only see all the nice time. They have huge periods of time away from their. Look at Gerwen Price. Did he really look as though he wanted to be there in the last ones? To me, he just wanted to get home. Do you know what I mean? He'd been stuck in Coventry for how long? How long have they been there? 4 weeks?
3 or 4 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just, it's big commitments, isn't it? It really, really is. especially if you've got a young family and want to be at home. I don't think I could do it, to be honest with you. What about you, Aaron? Would you be somebody that could jet set off around the world and, lead that lifestyle?
I mean, to start with, the novelty will be great. That'd be awesome. But I think over a few years, you look at Peter Wright in the semi-final. Was he really? Did he just look knackered? Do you know what I mean?
Something was.
I don't know. At the end of the day, we're all human.
Yeah, something was very wrong in the semi-final there. I've never ever seen Peter Wright play. Was he averaging something at one point, about 70 something, wasn't he?
I think at one point he was 60 something.
Terrible. I don't think Mervyn King could quite believe it, could he?
No, he was a bit shocked, wasn't he?
It certainly was. So who you got your money on? Would you say that MVG is going to win the Worlds this year then?
Nah, not for me. Gerwen prize for Peter Wright for me.
Yeah. What about you, Ad?
It's set play now, isn't it? So it's a whole different game. You can actually win a match losing more legs than you win, can't you? So I don't know. I mean, Jose de Sousa, he's playing well. Michael Smith in set plays dangerous. It's a whole different game. It's harder to win it. It's harder to beat the good players in set play than it is match play, I think, anyway.
Do you know what? I prefer the set play tournaments. I love set play. I would much rather sit down and watch a set play tournament than I would, the race to 10 or whatever, the legs. Definitely. What do you prefer?
I prefer sets.
I prefer, watching set play as well.
Why do you think there's not more tournaments that have set play?
I don't know. Set play's always been the World Championships, and kind of the theory behind it was the best players in the world get more chance to win.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely love it. So we think that possibly MVG is on his way back. Just before we go any further, look at that face there. That is Mervyn King, obviously just losing out to MVG, and he certainly was not impressed with some of Van Gerwen's antics, was he? He was absolutely fuming, wasn't he?
To be fair to Merv, I mean, he's a darting purist. I mean, I've played Merv quite a few times in Super League. When I was young and first started playing, Merv was still playing Super League, and even on a Tuesday night in the pub for a game of Super League darts, someone made a noise or something. He didn't like it. Merv is a darts purist. He likes the quiet room, and I saw some stuff on Twitter. People clearly have never met the guy because the rubbish they were spouting. It's hilarious, really, seeing some of the stuff on Twitter. Man, I'm not Merv's biggest fan, but he's actually quite a funny guy. He's not a bad loser. He gets grumpy, but he's not a bad loser. He's just Merv. He's a typical good old Norfolk, Suffolk boy, basically, isn't he? And that's what he is.
So is the rumour that when you turn up to a darts tournament, you see the nice, big, bubbly, smiley, happy, good-looking, happy guy? Is that not true?
I've never seen that Mervyn in my 38 years of life. No.
That face, Aaron. Did you see the? I actually paused it and got a photo of his face, and then when he hit the bullseye, and he sort of went. Just like
I love that.
If I was him, I'd have given it the big one. If he'd have given it the big one, that would have made it even better, I think.
You would have done, would you?
Probably, yeah.
I thought it was.
I found it
that
interesting.
1-2-6, I'd have stripped off and shagged him.
I'll tell you what. Is he gonna get? Was that Merv's last chance?
He's probably going to get a better chance, I don't think. I don't know. He had a good old run, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
got a good draw.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen Mervyn do, and it was ridiculously a cool thing, right? So we were all playing darts, and there was a young lad in there, and he was like a really, really young lad. He was like 13, 14. He was first starting out playing darts, and he'd come with us, and he was following Merv around like a stalker. Mervyn was on the practice board, and this kid wanted to practice with him, and he kept asking him questions and questions. And you could see Mervyn was a bit like, I just want to play darts, go away, and sort of thing. But in the end, the lad said, "Can I have your flights?" And Mervyn was about to throw, and he went, "Yeah, of course you can." So he took his flights out of his darts and gave the lad his flights, and then, without any flights in his darts, threw his 3 darts at the board, and I swear this is true.
You're going to say you got a 180. You were going to say you got a 180 with no flights.
You got a 180, no flights in. And I stood there, and I literally was like, God, I hate the fact he just done that, because that's so good.
Do you think that maybe then, he's just lost that title? Should he have done that in the last leg against MVG?
Do you know what? That would have been the best thing I've ever seen on TV, wouldn't it? If he'd have done that, because he's good, he can do it. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Beating him, incredible. Right, guys, we've got to speak about Bully Boy Michael Smith. Is he possibly the unluckiest player in the darts world? Always, he had a really tough draw at the Players' Championship. He played Peter Wright. He played out of his skin. Wright hit 100 and some odd average. Bully Boy did too. Ended up going out. And then he sits at home and he sees him perform in that horrendous game against Mervyn King. Is Michael Smith thinking, what have I got to do? And for him, how frustrating is it for him? Michael Smith, yes, he's quite young, but he's been about in the game for some time now, and he's seen all these players come through and win majors. Gerwen Price come through and won them after him. Nathan Aspinall, Dimitri Vandenberg, Jose de Sousa, they're all winning them. How difficult is it for Michael Smith to get across the line, and is he always unlucky in a lot of his games where players excel against him? What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, he is unlucky, to be fair. But I think as soon as he win one, I think he won't. There won't be any problems. I think he'll win a few. To be fair, Peter Wright was like it for ages, wasn't he? Peter Wright couldn't win anything. He was getting picked in the final and things like that. And then as soon as he won one, now look at him.
Yeah. And you think Michael Smith? Do you think Michael Smith is going to be somebody that, as each tournament go out, it's getting harder and harder and harder? We've seen players in other sports, and I, for 1 minute, don't think that Bully Boy is not going to win one, because I've been saying for ages he is. But there's always these players like the Jimmy Whites of snooker and Terry Jenkins. How many finals did he get to? Was it something like 12 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, well, Michael Smith's a lot better than Terry Jenkins, but the thing is.
Sorry, Bully Boy.
He's got no bottle, has he? They keep going. If you look on social media, Michael Smith keeps bottling it. If you miss double 12 for a 9-darter and don't throw another dart in that leg because the other bloke went out, clearly you've got no bottle, have you? So I don't know what's wrong with some people. I tell you, it's ridiculous, isn't it? The stuff you see, but no, because he'll win one. He's probably one of the most naturally gifted, talented dart players that's ever lived. He's going to win one, and when he wins one, everyone's going to wish he never won that one, because he's going to win all of them then, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I've been saying for ages, it's just a matter of time. Everybody keep writing him off. He gets a lot of flack on Twitter, let's be fair, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. Like, the worst bit is there's people who don't play, or they play in their bedroom and they hit a 12-dart leg once in the bedroom and then think that they know better than all the top professional players, and it's just rubbish. Everyone's entitled to opinion, of course they are, but you can't talk about the guy's bottle. He's just got to get over the line. That's all it is, some of the other players, look at his run in the Players' Championship just now. Every single round, the other person played their best game of their life, and he still beat them. You know what I mean? And then he just ran into Wright
in the first round. Incredible.
Yeah.
While we're on
the first round, that guy was unreal.
While we're on that, this might actually come to a surprise to you guys, because you both see me, but I've actually had 3 9-dart legs in my bedroom.
Yeah, I've had a 19-dart leg in my bedroom before, which is pretty good. So.
Have you? What about you, Aaron? How many 9-darters have you had?
I'll be lucky to get a 29-dart leg.
Right, so that's Michael Smith. Moving on from Michael Smith, let's have a look. Just briefly, I want to speak about Bradley Brooks, Bam Bam, 20 years old, PDC Tour card holder, managed to get over the line. He beat Joe Davis 6-5, quite incredible. That last leg, considering they're so young, they both got into the Grand Slam of darts next year for making it through to that stage. But also they were playing for 10 grand and a player in the world. This is something that could kickstart their career. Massive leg. I don't know how much either of you two follow, the youngsters and different bits. Ad?
Must admit, mate, I check in a little bit with the development tour and the JDC and all that sort of stuff, but I'm not huge. I mean, I've obviously heard of Bradley Brooks and seen his name a lot. I thought he was a good player. I thought he threw a nice dart all around it. I mean, he's already backed, isn't he? I mean, he's already basically a professional dart player, isn't he? Whereas the other guy played.
Yeah. The other guy worked, but he's a pro, isn't he?
Comes from the Challenge Tour, didn't he? And I thought the other guy played quite well as well, because he works full time and he's on the Challenge Tour. It was all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Did to begin with, didn't he?
He did.
To start with, that Joe Davis played out of the skin.
Yeah, I thought he did as well. We had his chances as well, didn't he? Obviously, went leg up. He did have his chances and got back into it.
Yeah.
I did think that Bradley was going to win it. Just while we're on that, there's always a massive debate on this about the age limits in this, because at the moment, I think it's 23, and you can actually play 24, I think, if your age is at a certain date when you're 23. Now, how is that youth? Is that right? And not only that, should certain players be able to play on it if they're already holding a tour card? Like that Joe Davis, I think he beat Jeffrey Desvan, they said, in semi-finals. Bradley Brooks had to beat Martin Schindler along the way. These guys are, on the full PDC tour, competing week in, week out. Should they be allowed in it, and should the age be a lot less?
I think they need to change the name of it from youth, because it's the development tour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they come from. And the age for that is 23 or whatever, isn't it? But my argument with it is, and a lot of people who are on the development tour and have a pro tour have disagreed with me and told me I'm wrong.
No.
But as far as I'm concerned, if you've got a tour card and you're on the pro tour, you are developed. So do you still need to play development tour? Because you're already developed because you're on the pro tour. But if you're entitled to playing both, why not? Go clean up. My mate Ryan has done very well on the development tour this year and last year, so good on him.
The big question is, come second week of January, will we be able to be calling Adam Southpaw White as developed then?
Underdeveloped.
What are your thoughts, Aaron?
As Adam said, to be fair, if they're gonna give you the opportunity to do it, you're gonna, aren't you? But that's quite, I mean, you look at Luke Humphries. Was it last year?
Yeah.
He won it, didn't he? And
we were there, weren't we?
44.
That's what I mean. And then, as you say, he's already on the tour. He's already an established player, but he was still apparently a youth player. That is wrong, really. But as you say, if they're going to let him do it, you're going to do it, aren't you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think there's been loads and loads of debate. For those of you that are watching the show, apologies, I think my camera's froze, guys, but we're carrying on. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Just while we're on that, just quickly, I want to move on because Paul Lim has qualified for the World Championship game. Quite remarkable. What a player.
Legend, isn't he? Literally living legend.
Love him.
There's players like him that make darts, isn't it? Just watching him,
I think so many people around the world was so wanting to hit that 9 darter, to get to like 20 years on or whatever it was. It was incredible, weren't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I was willing. I think everyone, even Gary Anderson, wanted that double 12 to go in.
Yeah.
He was playing against, wasn't it? Everyone wanted that in.
Yeah, incredible player. Last but not least, just before we go, I know we've touched on it briefly. The draw for the Worlds is this Thursday. We spoke about how we think we could win it. Aaron's saying that he thinks Gerwen, Price or Peter Wright. I think you're sort of thinking possibly MVG. What about Nathan Aspinall? Is his game there? I know he went off the ball a little bit, but he looks as though he's sort of getting it back at the right time.
I always think the Grand Slam and the Players. Do you know what? The form of the Players' Championship is one. If you look throughout the years, not necessarily one to look too much into, because some of the players, they've had enough. They want to get home. They want to
They want that break, don't
get
they?
ready for the Worlds. They're not really thinking too much about the Players' Championship. So the ones that didn't maybe do that great in that, don't write them off. But I think Jose de Sousa can definitely have a sniff of that. Why not? Why can't he win it?
Any
And
potential?
I think Dimitri Vandenberg.
He's a big TV player, Dimitri, isn't he?
He's very good.
Very big TV player. Obviously, he was unlucky. I think it was the year Cross won it, wasn't it? He knocked him out in was it the semi or quarterfinals? And Dimitri had darts to beat him in that, didn't he? He was, this is going back a couple of years, and I think a lot of the problems with darts is I think there's certain players that just focus on the Premier League. Joe Cullen's one for me. All he went on about is he has a good run. He's getting in the Premier League, and I think that Dimitri, after having that run at the Worlds, everybody was on about him. And do you remember it was the year when Jamie Lewis made it to the semis as well, about competing in the Premier League? The year after that, they didn't get in the Premier League. They both had a nightmare of a year. I think Jamie has qualified for the Worlds this year, but he's actually given the game up, isn't he? So I've heard.
I don't really know. I know he had like a really dip in form, but to be fair to Jamie Lewis, he's been an awesome player since he was really, really young. So it was kind of, I mean, he's still young, but I mean, Jamie Lewis was a top youth player. So, he's thrown a lot of darts in a short space of time, sort of thing, really, in his adult time. So he most probably was due a dip in form and getting a bit fed up of darts because he'd been such a good player from such a young age, So I'm sure we've done him a bit of good, to be honest. He might come back a better player now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. I can't wait. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Love seeing the Worlds. Obviously, Fallon's not there this year.
That Dita is, though, isn't she? Or is that Demon Hetta? Is Demon Hetta playing in the women's this year with Dita or whatever, isn't it?
What about the hype with Fallon and that last year? It's quite incredible. How do you think she's feeling right now? Obviously, that kick-started her career. She's on the World Series. She's going to be doing all those. Got massive sponsors. Part of Modus. Being looked after really well. But obviously, after that, Lisa Ashton goes on. Fallon doesn't win a tour card. Lisa Ashton does. She's not at the Worlds again this year. How do you think she's feeling? Because I know, Adam, if you're honest here right now, you say without doubt Lisa Ashton is the best ladies darts player in the world.
Ridiculous. Lisa Ashton is without doubt the best woman player in the world. No doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of guys on that Pro Tour who do not want to be drawing Lisa first round. They do not want to touch. She can throw 90 averages for fun, and you don't want to be coming up against that in some set play in the first round. So they're going to want to avoid her. And as for Dita, I mean, Dita, bless her. I mean, that's awesome to see her there. I mean, Dita's, been around since my dad played county darts. So we're talking like the 80s, early 80s here. I mean, Dita's been around forever. So good on her as well. That's awesome.
She's fantastic as well. Obviously, still works at the post office. I was lucky enough to meet her up in Scotland and had an interview. I actually met Dita and Trina. It was absolutely incredible. She really was an absolute sweetheart. She was amazing with Ellie and Connor. They both got to play darts. Absolutely loved it. Are you a big fan of the ladies' darts, Aaron? Do you like the way it's going?
The standard of it is ridiculous, really. I mean, as Adam was saying about Lisa Ashton, I mean, you look online, like at the floor events and some of the results and stuff, she's beating men left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And she beat Rob Cross the other week, didn't she? On one of the floor events as well.
The championship.
I know he had a couple of darts and that, but she smashed him.
Yeah.
I think there isn't really that much difference between them. Not really.
It's certainly going to be good. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And last but not least, potentially fans going to be in at the Ali Pally this year?
Yeah, thousands, isn't it?
It needs to be. It's like I said to you the other week, didn't I, Gav, on the phone? I said to you, if if they were humming and hawing about fans, I'd have been tempted to put the Worlds back a little bit. They could not have played the Worlds without fans. But I saw something today about the seating and how they're going to work it, and because it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad, so it should be all right.
How many is allowed?
You're allowed a table of 4, aren't you? So, 1,000 people can go, but you're on a table of 4.
Yeah.
But the people on your table have to be in your household or your support group, which, for me, takes it away because, like, I'm not really going to go there with my missus, am I?
No, I know, but like people
You know what I mean?
right now, but what people are probably thinking right now.
I'll take your missus with me, Aaron.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah, but it's like now. It looks like we're in 3 different households. We're just in 3 different rooms in the same house. So, guys, don't you dare get me a table for the Worlds this year and fuel me with alcohol. I'll be in dreamland. Be an absolute buzz. Listen, guys, thank you so much for chatting on the show and different bits. Really, really enjoyed it. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Always loads of talking points. Maybe we can do one when the draw comes out. Aaron, good luck at work.
By all means, mate.
Don't work too hard, mate. Keep it real, keep it sexy. And for everybody else that's watched it, I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave us a like. If you want to come on the show, let us know. Drop us a message. You're more than welcome to come on and have a chat with us and have your say. Don't forget to the app's awesome, isn't it, guys? The app is awesome.
Dance Reviews app?
Well, both of them. I just wonder who the guy behind him is who built it. He must be like a Bill Gates or something, isn't he?
Yeah. He's very clever at what he does, but it's all about the face of the reviews for me. He makes them so.
I'll tell you what, it's a wonder what you can do. I always say to people, editing is key, because sometimes, no, I'm not even going to go there, Ad. Listen, guys,
editing and good lighting.
Photoshop.
You take care, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Turn your notifications on, and we'll catch you all soon. Bye. Come on, Ad, do your bye.
See you later, guys.